Hello, thank you for tuning in. I decided to make this video to document the test that I wanted to do to check how accurate the sensor is on the back of a Garmin watch. I'm on the market right now trying to decide if I should pay the extra $100 or so for units with a heart rate sensor on the wrist, or just go with what I've been doing, just checking my speed, my pace, my distance, and the time that I've been running. Just those metrics. Is it worth? The question that I want to answer in this video is, or in the tests that I'm documenting is it worth paying the extra money to have that feature of a heart rate monitor on your wrist? Or for that matter, a heart rate monitor on your chest? Before going any further, I'd like to give a shout out to the groups and people who have helped me in my training, in my running career. First off, Adaptive Running Academy, they're based in Canada. In particular, my good friend Stan has been most helpful in bringing me to this new level of training and racing. Second, Dick Pond Athletics. This is my local running store. And through the store, I was able to meet wonderful people, local people, and a friend there actually was the one who provided me the test item, the test equipment that I'll be using today. Fast Track Racing Team, I've been with them for 2 years, and it opened up for me a new way at looking at training, in particular how to use the racetrack, local high school racetrack, to develop speed and bring it as a tool in developing my marathoning. All community events, thank you for all the pacing opportunities that you have given me. And for the organizers of Fax Valley Half Marathon, BQ Point 2 in the fall and in the spring, and the Naperville Half Marathon. And as always, praise and glory be to God for the time and resources available to all of us to enjoy running. Okay, so I'm ready to run. On my left wrist, I have the Phoenix 5S. It has the heart rate sensor. I followed the recommended wearing from the owner's manual. I have it above my wrist bone. This is unnatural for me. I like wearing my watch right here, but I'll go with what they recommended. My initial testing, when you're at rest, when you're at moving around, it doesn't matter whether you put it above or right there on the wrist bone. I guess the sensor, since you're not moving around, you're not swinging your arms forward and back, it has very good contact with your skin. On the right wrist, I'm wearing my basic Timex watch. In particular, I will just be using the seconds, so that when I'm palpating my radial pulse every mile that I take a break, I'll be comparing what the reading is on the GPS watch and what I'm palpating. All right, come run with me. Temperature outside is 34 degrees. Bright, sunny, nothing falling from the sky, and I'm just wearing shorts. The GPS is reading 71, 70, 71, 72, doesn't matter. I'm going to accept a variation of up to 5 seconds, maybe even 10. I'll accept it as allowable. I'm going to check my pulse now manually. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 4, that brings it to 60, 64. So right there I'm seeing it. Oh, it's good. 65, 62, and I palpated 64. After a little over a mile of running, the watch is showing 171. I know the test is not ideal because I've stopped running now. So the first trial did not go so well. I misjudged the cold. I was freezing by quarter mile. I had to cut my run short and head back home to I'll be getting a pair of gloves. Also, my phone died in the cold. I'm using an older iPhone. But my initial test showed that the watch was reading instantaneous at that time, was giving me 168, and then as quickly as I can, I tried to take my pulse manually, and I only got 120. Now I wouldn't trust that. There were some fault in the way that I did the test. I think I'm gonna stop right now. I'll use what happened today as a lesson on how to improve my methods. I have an access to a finger probe, so then I don't have to manually palpate and wait for 15 seconds or even 30 seconds for that matter. For now though, I'm gonna call it a no decision because my method failed. I hope you stay with me in this journey. I'd like to hear your comments and on suggestions on how I can make this a better test. Or if you've done this already, send me a link so I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Thank you very much. I contradicted myself. I decided to go out there and do my 4-mile run today. From the start of the run, I've decided that I'm gonna do the first mile at my warm-up, as my warm-up. The second and third miles will be my MP, HMP, subjective feel only. And then the fourth mile will be the cool down. And on purpose, I kept the watch displaying just the heart rate. I'm gonna ignore the other metrics. And this is what I found. So from resting of 60 to 70, during the warm-up period, I was on the 129 to 140, which I will accept. It was giving me the feedback that I was on the easy zone and aerobic zone. However, when I hit the 1 mile mark and I speed up to what I thought was a 6:48, 6:52 minute mile, it took a good 3 to 4 minutes before the heart rate monitor, I think, picked up the new rhythm, the new rate. It stayed at 148, 150 for a good 2 minutes before it went up to the 180s and the 190s. Now, I'm questioning the 190. That is well beyond my training zone supposed to be. I'm going to get into that later. I didn't really do any computations or calculations on what to expect. And then, as I did it's okay, I accepted it. 190, 192 on miles 2 to 3. When I get to the fourth mile, which is supposed to be the cool down, it stayed in the 180. It did not even go down to the 170. And I'm trying very hard to slow down. And so my interpretation is that it could be two things. I mean, my first suspicion is that the sensor, also let me backtrack a little. I decided to go against the manufacturer's recommendation. I wore it where I wanted it because I wanted to test the equipment on my terms, not on what the manufacturer is recommending. I kept it to my comfort level. I did not go with what they're recommending that it should be tight as much as I can tolerate. I went for comfort. And like what I said, it's there, not high up here. So those are the conditions. And so I think with this setting, the meter is having a hard time picking up the new rhythm, the change in rate, that it needed to sample a longer duration of beats before it reported the new rhythm. That's my interpretation. Whether I'm right, I'm wrong. I don't know. But I'm seeing a way on how to use this. Another thing also is that because I just borrowed this particular equipment, I did not do any customization to the settings. Probably, there are some settings that I can change to improve how it's interfacing with my skin and what to expect from my system. That's all for now.